until September. So a big 4.5 months away.
7.5 months we've been here.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep. And, you know, it's funny. Unfortunately, we're not exact. We're going out with a whimper.
You know what's funny, though, Andy? We used to be here 7 months.
Well,
right?
they
Middle
used to
of
stay
October.
in the middle. They used to stay into the middle. You know, it varies. It's so funny looking back at history of racing. You know, you look back in the mid '70s when they used to come here before Saratoga.
Saratoga, yeah.
You know, you look at races like the Suburban, that famous one. The pictures downstairs with Golden Myrrh and Forgo.
You
and
stump a lot of people
Foolish
with
Blood.
where the Secretariat debut. It was here on July 4th because
Right.
July 4th was supposed to be at Belmont Park.
Yeah. And there, you know, I have those charts, those chart books I have. I think it's 75. We raced at Belmont until the middle of November. I think the 10th or 11th was the
Really?
last day. Yeah, I can show it to you. And that was, as some of the old timers like us remember, before they put in any of those windows, the doors. Remember, can't you
Oh
open
my
those
God,
doors?
the wide open.
Everything was
first,
wide
Could you
open.
imagine that wide open first floor?
How about the third floor?
Oh wow!
And yet, yet you look at the attendance, and there was like 20,000 people
On
there
a Thursday.
in November. Right. I have the books at home. I honestly, I wouldn't believe it if I didn't have
No,
the books at home.
absolutely.
You know, if somebody said to me, yeah, they've done a lot of different changes. But anyway, we'll be back at Belmont Park for a 40-day meet starting on Thursday. Looking forward to getting back to Belmont. But we enjoy Belmont, Aqueduct. Anthony and I are big Aqueduct fans as well. Unfortunately, just had lousy weather to close it out. There's just nothing you can do about it.
We had a nice winter, though, so we really cannot complain.
We did.
Did we lose? What did we lose? 2 days? Did we even lose 2 days?
Might have only lost one.
Did we only lost one?
Well,
right?
we had a cancellation part of the card, right?
The half of the fog.
Yeah.
That was fog. That wasn't even track with weather. Yeah, 1.5 days.
I don't even, what was the day we closed? That we didn't, yeah, that we had cold. There were 2 days of cold.
2 cold days.
There were 2 days
Two
of
cold
cold.
days,
You're
right.
right
Friday,
about that.
Saturday.
Yeah, there were two
Yeah,
cold
because
days.
we canceled both days
Right.
like Thursday.
Yeah, that's, you make a great point. Anyway, but you still can head over to Naira Bets. And
Yes.
we now have 6 days till the Derby. They will be drawing the Derby and Oaks cards, both of them tomorrow. Big draw day at Churchill. Don't
That
know why
helps.
why don't they draw the Oaks today? They're not racing. You know what I mean? You'd think
Listen,
they-
I'm going to be thankful that they're doing it tomorrow. They used to do it on Tuesday.
But you would think, though, that they would, whatever. It
You
is
want to
what
have
it
the people he's out there for as long as possible, right? Yeah.
If I was the racing office, I wouldn't want to draw both days. Now,
That
maybe
too.
the stakes are easier and they draw themselves and maybe they're ready for them. But nevertheless, $25 Derby bet and a $200 sign-up bonus. Use the promo code Derby25. Cross country pick 5. The last one we're here at Aqueduct for.
Yep. We'll have a ticket out for this in a little bit. Race 7 here, 7 at Oaklawn, 8 here, which is our firm success. Then the 8th at Oaklawn, and we'll wrap it up with the finale here at the Big A.
There you go. 10% try bonus. Opt in for that. Final Sunday here at Aqueduct. We also have opening day at Belmont, as we said. That's coming up this Thursday. Also, America's Day at the Races. 1 to 6 here and Oaklawn. Race number 1. Well, unfortunately, we have 3 4-horse fields today, and one of them is the first. We'll take a look at Ms. Solvig's debut for Shug. Not sure why he tried turf with this daughter of Bernardini. The dam, though, Theory of Change, I think she only ran like once.
It's Phil
She
Antonacci.
broke her.
Shug's the 2.
Phil Antonacci. Thanks for that, Anthony.
You're welcome.
I knew it was
I don't
Phil.
want to confuse everybody.
I don't want to. You know what it is? Phil followed me on Twitter the other day, so I'm a little suspicious of him.
Phil lost his grandmother this week.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry to hear that.
Frank's mom was in her early 90s.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But the dam, you know, it's funny. The dam was, I don't know if you remember, was a Karlovich horse actually that I think may have only run once. Broke its maiden. I want to say like closing day at Saratoga or something, at a price. Anyway, runs back to that race, and then they showed speed the next time. Tough field. Race kind of fell apart.
That was a tough bunch the second time, yeah.
If you don't land on this horse, where are you supposed to land here?
I don't know. Unless you think Shug's first. Now, here's Shug. Unless you think Shug's first.
I knew he had a horse in here.
There's not a lot of pedigree. The dam only
Actually,
ran once.
that's a big turf pedigree. The
Turf,
second
right.
dam is Vespers, and Vespers is a very good turf.
Yeah,
There's
but
nothing in the first family.
No derf. No derf.
No derf?
No, that's not Gulfstream. No dirt.
The derf of derf?
Yeah, the derf of dirt.
Derf of dirt?
Yeah, and, I like the fact that Phil waited to put the blinkers on Ms. Solvik to have the race off the layoff because it's a better gauge at how the blinkers are going to help her. Tightened her up on the grass down at Gulfstream Park. I mean, Yeah, I don't know where else we're supposed to go
Well,
here.
I mean, we both have risk-free second. And
Who's
I
0
think
for
that's
11
sort of,
with 7 board finishes.
hey, I got Eddie DeLauro home on Friday. I thought I was being a wise guy in the first race with Eddie DeLauro horse, thinking, they're not going to bet too much on Eddie's horse. I'm going to get 7-2 on this horse.
Woof.
Horse had the 2-1 favorite, and one like should have been 2-5.
Yep.
Tough to fool the players in New York. Race number 2.
Eddie, old harness guy too, by the way. Don't sleep on Eddie DeLauro.
Why did Eddie Barker scratch Run Smitty Run?
And why did I was surprised by Run Smitty Run and to a lesser degree by Volkert. Volkert had the one race 2 back and then was in over the head last time. No,
That's fair.
those are a couple of
I
strange
think
scratches.
I actually picked Ignited. So, I mean, I'm guessing Michael just didn't want to ship when it was coming off, so he probably didn't. But
And the rain was heavy.
nonetheless,
The rain's heavier. The rain was a little heavier down south, so maybe
So it's a
just
tougher
didn't,
shift,
Didn't want to ship. Yeah,
tougher ship. He could have shipped in a ship.
he could have.
We'll take a look at Upper Level winning on the turf. Why not? The horse I have on top, and I don't know. I thought this horse was the speed and the horse to beat.
Yeah, fresh gelding for Tally Lynch, dropping down to the 30 today.
Sort of been running against, it was involved in that pace. That was a wicked pace, fast pace, I should say, last time. I mean, when you look at the horses this horse has been running against, and you look at who's left in here, I just like to lead him on the Merry Chase because we can go right to the replay after that of 8 and Sand, and boy, did 8 and Sand find his friends last time. Now, maybe he found him again today, but I'm going to guess that Upper Level is just a better horse.
He did, but I'm going to tell you what, that 72 buyer that we were all waiting to see where it was, he kind of found it in the mud. He found it in the mud last time.
Yeah, sometimes they find it when they find
Yeah,
their friends.
listen, he found it was an overmatched field last time for certain. But I'm gonna come right back with 8 and Sand. It's 4s and 11s for me. I just went with the horse West.
I actually think that basis
last
risk.
race.
I'm not a big fan of the 11. In fact, I picked the 11 fourth. I don't like that horse. I don't really love the MTOs. I think basis risk is not impossible. I know the horse's form is not that good. The horse has been running against horses that are in a completely different area code than where he's running against today.
For sure.
And at one time, this horse had some ability. I thought basis risk was actually an interesting horse in the price in here, so I'm going to use 3s and 4s in race number 2. Race number 3, kind of a appropriate name, Gifted.
Huh.
Because they're kind of gifting this horse the race, and it's too bad. This was we'll take a look at Gifted, finishing second.
This was a fun race.
Randomized, who's run the fastest route buyer figure of any 3-year-old filly in the country last time out. And this horse is ready to run and finish second behind her. I mean, I suppose Ocean Getaway is not impossible in here, but
God, she'd have to run so much faster, right?
Well, except this is the only fast
The
fig
outlier,
for Gifted.
yeah.
So, the question is, do you believe this last race for Gifted? This was an extremely fast race. This was a figure that a couple figure makers I know think could have been 4 points higher. So that would make her even tougher. It's a 2-horse race between the outside 2, and Gifted will be 2-5, and the 12 will be 8-5, and the others won't take any money.
Right, and they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to. Smart for staying in though, because this is
Right.
an $80,000 pot. So to run third, you get $8,000, which roughly pays for 2 months of training.
There's a horse.
More than 8,800, I think you get for
The
third.
Klarovich runner last night broke its maiden at 1.25 miles at Churchill.
Yes,
That horse had finished 4th at 4-5 in her last race at Tampa.
the turf race. Yep.
One of the most fortuitous 4th place finishes in history. That purse was $24,000. Last night's purse, $120,000.
$120,000. Yeah.
Race number 4. These are maiden claimers, and I think you and I both have the same idea, which is to try to wire the field with Princess Sonia. I think Dylan was a little unaggressive last time. It also was a relatively fast pace. We'll take a look at her runoff. This was, she ran off 2 races back. Joel Rosario is not a rider who is afraid to let horses flaunt their speed.
Exactly.
And she's probably going to be in front of her. Yesterday's track was not, it was perfectly even. We saw speeds do well. We saw closers do well. We even saw horses make moves towards the inside.
I thought the
like
inside
the
was good yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think the inside was good, but I think the 2-path horses did well. There were very few horses that were on the rail. There were some horses that ran inside of horses and around the 2-path. But she collapsed. She just ran off in there. And then last time out, He decided not to be aggressive. She's a little tough to be excited about, but one
That
of the
was
things.
going 7 too, and this is going 6, and there's just
Six
no
and a
other
half. This is
nobody.
6.5.
6.5 rather. There's just nobody in here with any speed unless one of the firsters finds speed.
Iris Jackson, and obviously a firster, can win this race,
Yeah.
but I did find a stat for George Weaver. First-time starters in maiden claiming dirt sprints at Naira. He's 0 for 16 with only 5 hitting the board. And interestingly enough, he's 5 for 11 outside of Naira.
Oh wow.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
He's 5
So
for
a lot
11.
of, a lot of Gulf Streams.
5 for 11 outside of Naira. So he's had a lot of success everywhere but Naira, with the ones that read it. And maybe it's just a little bit random because he's obviously had success, the barn has, and it's a good barn, so not surprising.
It was
I
a
don't know.
4-year-old debuting at the last day of April.
4-year-old debuting in the right field, Anthony.
Oh, no, listen, I got the horse second.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying she's the 2-to-1 second choice on the morning line. She probably won't be much higher than that. And
She could be favored. for
she
all you
could be
know.
favored, right?
LaChance will show her last race where she finished second to Ever Grateful. Was an improvement for her. So why? Is she totally impossible here?
No, the last, she'd need
This,
to run the
this
last
outfit?
race.
This
No,
outfit's
yeah,
a wise
I mean-
guy outfit.
Especially if they're going to get 5-1 today, like she is on the morning line. We had some harness on America's Day at the America's 47 hours at the races yesterday, and my favorite harness driver of all time was Mike LaChance.
Really?
Yeah, well, the guy was fantastic. Son drives now. Pat, his nephew Luke Willette's was very successful, fellow Hall of Famer. Yeah, I don't know if this horse is named after.
Probably not.
After
Probably
him.
just France. Probably. Wouldn't it be one word if it was LaChance?
I think doesn't TT have a horse named LaChance?
I don't know.
Horse that won his debut.
You're probably
Or
right.
her debut. I think she does. I think he does.
Race number 5, we are off the turf in here, and Royal Trist is going to stay. I don't know that he wants to go the mile and a 16th.
I'm sorry, and that starts to pick 6. By the way, everything must go today.
Yes. No, thank you. No. I don't think we'll have to worry about it, but there are no
Right.
carryovers.
I don't think so either.
It's going to be hard pressed given the field size. Call Me Harry will show speed in here. Has never really done much running on the dirt, but figures to be part of the pace. And we'll see if that affects Majority Partner. And we'll take a look at Celestial Moon beating Majority Partner. And maybe Call Me Harry's being in here will hurt Majority Partner a little bit. But he is a horse that can stalk a bit. I don't know. I know Celestial Moon beat him this time, but I still think Majority Partner ran the better race. And so I'm going to take him on top
He
again.
probably didn't, but for everything you just said about Call Me Harry's presence in here, and I'm sure Linda was a little surprised to see Call Me Harry stay in here because he really has done zero running on the dirt. He's got to try and. You would imagine the only reason he's in here is to go to the lead, and Majority Partner is going to have to. I don't want to say come out of his comfort zone a little bit, but his best races have been his 2 fastest figures came when he controlled on the front end, was on the front end, and I would imagine that's going to compromise him a little bit and kind of give Celestial Moon a good setup again.
I don't think I don't agree that Call Me Harry is going to be going particularly quickly in here, and I think Majority Partner can sit a comfortable stalk outside him and be better. Celestial Moon's fine. I'm not against him. They're the right 2 horses in here, unless you want Kinetic Sky. And we'll go back to Kinetic Sky, who does have that one huge race. I don't know where it came from, the 98 figure, and it's tough to really justify, though Nabokov has run some fast numbers. If he can find this number, he can win off the claim for Tom Morley.
Yeah, I wasn't too keen on this horse today. I thought he ran okay behind Milton the Monster, 3 starts back, and the race, the Nabokov race, where he's going to hold him off here. I don't know. He kept him in the proverbial jail. It's almost 2 months since he claimed him now. Well, I thought 24 Mamba, named after the late great Kobe Bryant. He ran into Secret Rules going short last time when Secret Rules was able to get away with proverbial murder on the front end, just kind of walked around there. And
Somebody had to be second.
yes, well, yeah, and that's you can look at it 2 ways, right? You can look at somebody had to be second, or this horse made his first start for Rob off the layoff sprinting.
He's in a different galaxy from a speed figure standpoint, the horses he's running against.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm thinking maybe if Call Me Harry puts a little pressure on, maybe he could suck up for a piece. That'll be a decent enough price on a day where it's going to be hard pressed to find any kind of prices so far. Maybe he can get a piece of it.
Not for me. We'll take a break after this race. We'll be back with a late pick 4 in just a moment.
Born in the foothills of the Adirondacks over 150 years ago, the Saratoga brand has become synonymous with quality. Carefully crafted spring water. Each stunning blue glass bottle is created with the same attention to detail and care that has been the Saratoga hallmark for generations. So open a bottle, take a sip, and savor the Saratoga experience. Saratoga, an American classic that's always in good taste. Make every day exquisite.
Welcome back to Talking Horses, Anthony and Andy, as we close out the Aqueduct extended meet. It began as Belmont at the Big A, and it closes as Aqueduct. And we'll look at race number 6, where Know-It-All Audrey is going to be a heavy favorite. And we'll take a look at her last race, finishing second, beaten ahead at this distance with Suspended Campaign third. I don't know. She's going to be a short price. I picked against her because I wanted to try to get clever, but maybe it's just a mistake.
Yeah, she cuts back now to the mile. And I would imagine that she's going to, I'm sorry, no, she does not cut back to the mile. This stays the 9. She almost got it done last time. She's going to have another easy lead in here, I would imagine. If she can hold, she has to hold off Suspended Campaign. They're going to try and stretch to a T, but again, big purse, 4-horse field, you stay in. Smart move by the Notice just to keep this filly in today going long. And she just got beat by a filly in Spike, who would probably be 1-5 in here if she was eligible for the race, so.
Well, I mean, she wouldn't be 1-5. She beat her by a head, so I don't think she'd be 1-5 in here. I don't really know. I know Know-It-All Audrey got the mile and 1/8 last time, so she probably won't have trouble with it. But I wonder a little bit. And Suspended Campaign, she ran last time, but she's a bit of an in-and-outer. She's hardly reliable, not really my kind. To a T is the other horse in here. But you really will take a look at To a T's last race. Do you really think she wants any part of a mile and 1/8?
She didn't want a mile.
Right.
Back in November. Right? She spun on wheels at the 8th pole. Why do I think she wants a mile and 1/8? But like I said, it's an $82,000 pot. You paid a bill for the month to run 4th. Why would you scratch? No reason to scratch. This horse literally will pay her bill for the month.
Yeah, no, I get it. But I started looking through, and I thought, well, she's not a horse I wanted a mile and 1/8. Suspended Campaign is one I just don't trust. I certainly could win the race. It wouldn't shock me. Obviously, Know-It-All Audrey's going to be an enormous favor. She could win. And so I started looking at Lay the Groundwork. And I kind of wonder with Lay the Groundwork if maybe they gave up too soon with this horse on the dirt. She ran one race in the dirt at Gulfstream. Got bet that day. She didn't really do a lot of running in there. They went right to synthetic and then to turf. But I kind of wonder. She ran fine on the synthetic. She ran fine on turf. But I kind of wonder, maybe they gave up on her a little too soon. She's certainly not a horse that seems to have a problem with distance.
No, not at all.
And I just been going through this card, one logical short price after another. So I thought, you know what? Here's a good race to get goofy because I'm not a big Know-It-All Audrey fan getting a mile and 1/8. And I don't like the other two horses, so I'm taking a total flyer. She may not be able to handle it. Mark may be putting her in here, just like me, guessing on the dirt and figuring the worst-case scenario. I'll finish 4th in this race, and running 4th, I'll pay the bills. So I just thought she was worth a little bit of a shot.
Get a rad, too.
Mark. Is that good?
You're probably going to lose a point. 2 points.
No.
But she's got to be the longest shot on the board, no?
Yeah, but it's a 4-horse field.
Yeah.
So what's she going to be, 9-2?
There you go. I don't know what to tell you.
You're better in multi. She's a good play.
Yeah,
Better play in
there you
multis.
go.
Race number 7. We'll take a look at Thrill of It to start race number 7, and this is the quintessential last time was the time horse. I mean, and I'm still kicking myself for not picking her on top. I put her 3rd. We talked about her quite a bit on the show.
We did. I think I put her 3rd or 4th too, right?
No, you didn't like her at all. You're not getting any
Is
credit
that
for
accurate?
her. You didn't like her at all. You gave me some story about she needed more distance. So no, you're not allowed to steal any credit for her.
Are you serious?
we could find the tape, and anybody who knows remembers. I gave a speech about her, and you poo-pooed her, which is fine. That's
I'm thinking of another
but
Terranova.
you're just
I'm thinking
not
of the
allowed
other
to steal
Terranova.
any
I'm
credit
thinking of the
here
other
because you're
Terranova
totally
horse.
wrong
I'm
about
thinking of the
it.
other Terranova horse
You
from a couple
totally
of weeks
poo-pooed
back.
this horse when I talked about her. For what it's worth, off of wins and dirt sprints, John's got good numbers. I just can't pick her though. I'm not taking a horse I missed the wedding on.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't believe. No, I was the other one I was talking about was a filly, and it was a few weeks ago.
Okay,
Not over.
you're going to have to explain your selection to me, to everybody, because nobody has any idea how you picked this horse.
You talked to everybody?
Well,
How
I
many
mean,
people have you talked
one of
to?
my friends texted me and he said, I can't wait to hear Anthony likes Dream Brew Pub.
What's not to like about Brewpub today?
He's not good enough.
Okay.
Other than not being good enough to win the race, there's nothing not to like about him.
Well, his form is considerably better. His best races on wet tracks are considerably better than his best races on dry
So what?
tracks.
They're still not good
So
enough
that's
for him.
number one. He's first time Rudy. That's a big trainer upgrade. That's number two. I don't care how bad Rudy's going. That's number two.
I don't agree, but okay, fine.
Well, you don't have to agree. That's why we sit up here, and that's why it's the greatest game played outdoors. I didn't want Thrill of It because I didn't want to hear you telling me last time was the time. I thought she was a different horse anyway. Silly Key makes some sense. I don't want Unique. Now, will you have Unique Union second
What's
like
wrong
I
with
do?
him? Isn't he going to sit second to Foolish Ghost in this race?
He's supposed
He's
to.
got some fast races, this
He's
horse.
supposed to. He
Improving
does have
horse.
some fast races. He's making his 4-year-old debut.
Working like a monster.
The works are what bothered me a little bit. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. If this horse comes back,
Tell
this is
them.
a horse.
Tell them I'm not
Well, this is
listening.
a horse in the beginning of his career where he was very fast early, and they just put him on the front end. Now he's learned to rate a little bit, but coming off the layoff with those bullets in his holster, I'm worried about him trying to engage Foolish Ghost, or at the very least being on somewhat of a chase. Not by intent, but this horse might just come back. This horse hasn't faced a starter in almost 6 months. He might just be so keen that he's on the chase of Foolish Ghost. And at what's going to be a short price, he's going to be even money. David has him 7-5. He might be prohibitive in here. He's going to be a short price.
No, he's not.
Who are they going to bet?
They're going to bet on Thrill.
He's-
I don't agree with David's line. I don't think there's any way that you need to use this to 7-5 in this race. Unless the only way 7-5 is that David knows there's huge stories in the workouts and he's working like a killer. And that may be why David made him a short price. But I'm shocked he's the favorite over Thrill of It, especially off Thrill of It's last race. But you know what? His races are fast on Time Form US. 7-5 seems kind of short. I like Silly Key. I think there's going to be plenty of pace in here. This horse was down the rail last time the whole way, basically. The rail was dead. The time before it, he got a slow pace against better horses. The time before it, he ran really, really well coming up the rail, which wasn't necessarily the place to be. He's handled wet tracks. There's going to be some pace on the outside, and I'm going to get Silly Key home to close the meet out in here.
There's 2 races after this.
Well,
You can't
to
close
close
the whole
his
meet
meet
out,
out,
Andy. Okay.
he's going to win on closing day of the meet. Race number 8. We'll look at today's Flavors race in the Carter, which was exceptional. Now, obviously, it wasn't a Carter for the ages, to say the least. But why would people want to run in Grade 1s when they can run in Grade 3s for the same amount of money that mean nothing at Keeneland? My problem is he's now coming back 3 weeks later, and I kind of wonder a little bit if they're squeezing the lemon a little dry with this horse, or they're just trying to strike while the iron's hot.
I mean, he obviously has had a very nice winter, a very nice Belmont at the Big A and Big A meet. He's done all of his successes come here so far. He got to be 2 lengths in the Carter. He got pressed every step of the
He
way.
ran super at the Carter, and he's
Yeah.
the speed in here. I
He's
don't
the
disagree,
speed.
but I'm betting against him.
Okay.
He ran very well in the Carter. There is no denying it, no argument. That was the best race he ever ran. The other races, he had everything go his own way, and he is a horse that is still dressed up by circumstance in his races. And horses that are dressed up like circumstances are horses like Lovely Ride yesterday at Oaklawn. And I wonder if coming back in 3 weeks, because this is a horse, I mean, look at him, right?
Spaced out.
Yeah. So
But he had he had one turnaround similar to
it's gonna be
this.
3 to 5.
He had one turnaround similar to this, and he galloped.
He's going to be very short.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to beat him with Sheriff Bianco, who just won here 7 days ago. We'll take a look at his race. Who's going to have to run better than he did last time. But he is a pretty cool horse, especially for a horse that nobody wanted. How's he done in the dirt since they got rained off? He's
Never
got
missed.
4 wins, 3 seconds, and a third. And he's probably made about $200,000 to $250,000 and and I don't blame Linda. Wesley Ward ran him on the turf. Well, he did run second to a stakes winner in his only dirt race before that, Cowan. So there was really no reason to try him on the dirt, when you could run in all those turf races and lose.
It's amazing how many horses have had their careers really kind of like, I don't want to say
King
turned
Angelo.
around, but how they've had their careers
Well,
turned around by
misunderstanding
off the turf.
surface. He's pretty good. I'm going to take a shot with Amundsen. I actually thought Amundsen ran well last time. I was searching for somebody to bet against the 7 with, and I was originally going to do it with Listen to Your Heart. And now I'll do it with Amundsen because I don't want anybody else because I can't trust my boy Tate. So actually, Torrio actually ran pretty well last time.
He did. He ran really well last time. It was just a big step up in class for him.
Amundsen has run a big figure for Rob Atras. He went back in for him. And I think his last race better than it looks because that was a slow pace he was forced to stalk. And now he's going to get a faster pace to stalk. And he's fast enough to put himself in position. I just want to take a shot against today's flavor, and he's the best case I could make. I don't love him in here, and I'm not way against today's flavor. I just am a little shaky on him.
Okay.
And the last race, finally, this is the last race of the Aqueduct meet.
Maybe I should go break out the harmonica and play Old Lang Syne. We've been here so long.
Okay, do that after I leave.
You won't be here.
Always Charming. We'll take a look at your top choice. Always Charming, winning last time. Didn't you sort of miss the boat last time?
I think I used them. I mean, it's Bob Casares that I could. There's no way I completely left the source out last time, is there? I cannot imagine that.
No, I actually had him higher than you did, but that's okay. You picked Bob Casares horse when they lose, not when they win.
Huge race in the mud. Last time he's going to get.
He beat absolutely nobody last time.
He beat nobody, but what's he running against in here?
A lot. You're kidding, right? You're actually
he's running against better, but I mean, you think there's anything
Dolo
in here
Conteste is better. Mach 1 is better. Majestic Tiger's actually better.
You're making
Big Venezuela is better.
You're making a case for Majestic Tiger today? Wow.
Last race is better than that.
Oh, you don't have him on the board.
Joyce, he beat last time? He beat Central Pride.
He beat nothing, but he did it the right way. He came off the layoff the right way.
Well, he's not going to get an easy lead with horses like Big Venezuela in here, so I don't know. I like Dolo Contesto, who spent quite a bit of time down towards the inside. If he wasn't right on the rail, he was on the rail for half the race. He got a little bit off it, but that was a dead rail day, and I thought he actually ran well in there. And he was also close enough at times to the pace, and the pace totally incinerated. I like Dolo Conteste in here over Big Venezuela, but I can't pick him on top. And I might even use a little Mach 1, who's second off a little bit of a freshening, who was improving, and they tried the turf last time. And his prior race gives him a chance to compete here. But I'm going to go mostly with 1s and 6s. And that's it.
All right.
That's the end.
That puts a bow on the big old Big A
Aqueduct meet. We will see you. I will not be at Belmont opening week. Anthony will be there. We will be opening on the Thursday. In fact, we have a slate for that. But first, we have a slate to tell you to go to NYRA So head on over to NYRA If you're not a member of NYRA no better time than the present. Use the promo code Derby25, and we'll give you that free $25 Derby bet. You've got less than a week for that, and we'll give you $200 sign-up bonus. We also have Cross Country Pick 5 races here in Oaklawn. Also want to remind people everything's a mandatory give-out today. Pick 6, Pick 5s, no carryovers. It is closing day of the meet. What else do we have? We have a 10% try bonus on the race at Aqueduct. Opt in for that. We also have opening day at Belmont, as we mentioned, this coming Thursday. And last but not least, 1 to 6, Aqueduct in Oaklawn. I'll be starting out up here with Lafitte. We're done. I'm guessing they're not talking to me. So I'm going to go, and you're going to go. Yep. We're done. Chris Griffin calling his last day until he comes back in November, and do want to say that Chris has done an outstanding job here of calling the races at the Big A, and we thank him for that, and we'll see him again in November and wish him the best of luck at Monmouth. He will be doing his final reprise of the Scratches and Changes, though he has another reprise later in the day. We're done. You're up.
Born in the foothills of the Adirondacks over 150 years ago, the Saratoga brand has become synonymous with quality. Carefully crafted spring water. Each stunning blue glass bottle is created with the same attention to detail and care that has been the Saratoga hallmark for generations. So open a bottle, take a sip, and savor the Saratoga experience. Saratoga, an American classic that's always in good taste. Make every day exquisite.